Aha! We are live. In Solar. Just dropping that on Twitch. Thank you very much for that. Now, I just need to argue with stuff for just a moment. For reasons that are not entirely apparent. That I'm trying to sort out right now, and I was hoping would... Oh, you're really going to make me do that? Yeah, grumble, grumble, grumble. Alright, I guess it's silence then. Okay then. How we doing? Hi, hello. Now, I successfully negotiated a peace deal with the Biders. It definitely didn't involve a few cannon shells. But anyway, so it should be a little bit quiet around here now. Yeah, the all the way around has been dealt with, so it's peace in our time. Second item on the agenda is, because I just plopped some things in here, we'll just launch that to space. Third item on the agenda, the base is looking a little sad because in the time that it took me to negotiate the peace deal, oil got sad, like it's 487. These are all down to minimum. This is what I get for setting the oil to poor. Everything's, all the resources are set to 25% richness. It's all very sad. Conveniently, there's some oil there and there's some oil there, but as you can see, they're all 800%. They're not, there's not great amounts of oil there, but it'll do. Alright, so, carrying on from last time, immediately, these actually unlocked before as well, so these can start cooking. We'll pop some efficiency modules in those. That's what I also just happened to launch up. Let's check the power. Power is still good. You'd actually see it was actually pegging it out there, but the efficiency module pulled it back into line. And that means we now have space science underway. And we should start seeing it in a moment. I should probably pop one productivity module in each of these. You know, one efficiency, one productivity, but It doesn't really matter because for all intents and purposes, this is basically infinite. I also sent the constant combinator up. The reason for that is I completely forgot about it yesterday. It needs a combinator there. And you doing what exactly? I'm not sure. Well, there. You are going to read a whole bunch of little thingies. We want a metallic asteroid chunk. We need a carbonic asteroid, and we need an oxide asteroid. That just makes sure that it has something to read to actually make sense of. And I might raise this to 60. Seeing as though, you know, we've got a fair chunk of stuff going on here. And I realize now that that's missing, and that's why there's a bit of a lack of... oh, that's not great. Well, that's what more solar panels are for. There. Alright, so now you need... Alright, you just need some more platform. That can easily be arranged. Yep, that's what you're for. And then just... I'll just force the issue by just shoving it in so it can launch. And that should build more of these. This is where quality starts to come in. You can start to appreciate why quality matters so much, because a higher quality solar panel means you need less platform. You know, you can only send 50 platform up at a time, which is not a great deal, and it does contribute to the overall weight. And so having high quality solar panels is actually valuable to have. There we go, I brought it back into sensibility. Look at the grabby arm go. And there we go, that's space science. Nearly done. There's actually one last little thing to do. I'm going to wire that to there. We need to read the contents. We want to enable, disable. And this is really important. You need to do this when you're setting up your own science platforms. We want this less than, let's say 2000. There we go, like that. Yeah, and that'll now build up space science, but it won't overload the storage with space science. You hate your brain, had an idea for how to make the ME fully dynamic not that long ago, and you hate it? Um, dare I ask more into that? I mean, I have a few vague concepts sitting in my mind. Oh yeah, I've also been doing a little bit more gambling with a slot machine. I want 6 more quality modules as well. All I can say is keep an eye out for Doc Jade's make everything machine. Apparently that's what they're called, as a MAM, or make everything machine. The next objective is to expand stone. We need to get stone going, because that's what's killing the base at the minute. So I need track and all the paraphernalia that are necessary for building a railway outpost. Circuits. Circuits can easily be acquired. Then it'll probably be iron plate. Iron plate can be easily acquired, like that. Bold was making an Omnimall. Omnimall is another one that's been coming up as well. MAM and Omnimall. I haven't actually seen what he's been up to. Bold is on at a really odd time for me, so I don't normally get to see what he's up to, unfortunately. Where? Ah, there it was. Tell you what, before I get too carried away, I need mining drills and inserters and steel chest. You know, the things you need to actually build an outpost. That's where the smart money is actually grabbing the stuff you need. So well, probably don't need 150. That. Yeah, 100 will do with that. I think it needs 64 from memory. Oh, shapes. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So we've got belt. I'll probably grab some more belt. I told the base bots to upgrade the base to red belt, which will be probably what it sits at for a fair chunk of the game now. So that's pretty much, it's a thing that I'll choose to ignore for the next 100, 200 hours. For reasons that will become clear eventually, but won't be very obvious for now. Unless you're unless you're thinking about it, shall we say, and you've realized why I'm ignoring further belt upgrades. Oh yeah, there's another tank too, another tonk. Actually, there's another thing. I didn't do it yesterday. It was mentioned. I forget who mentioned it. You can just like with a train. You can Control C, hold down Shift, make it go cyan. Take a copy, create blueprint. Lop it. Of course, it's only on those angles. I can then build that, and now this is ghosted, so we can build another one and completely destroy everything that's already in there. The way I saw to do it was you make each assembler latch its crafts and send a negative signal for what it's crafting, then make those amounts and release its latch. While it's latched, it tells a neighbouring assembler to latch. Okay, that's actually... Hey, Mamoru. Let the PC lurking. Do I have to help your dad with something? An hour or so. Okay. Enjoy the lurk. Enjoy the, good luck with the helping. Going back to the first thought. That's actually similar... Or mine is actually more independent. This thing here. So the way each one latches in, this thing, it actually has a memory that latches in what it wants. Or let me back up a step. So I have 2 ideas for how to implement this thing. This is one implementation of 2, where there's a sequence running along here. The first one that I'm testing with this right now, let me try again, is each machine picks from the list of things to make, removes it from the set, latches it in, and then passes it on to the next one. So it then picks, next one picks the next item, passes on, picks, passes on, picks, passes on, picks, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. The alternative method that I had was, instead of clearing the signal, the crafter that it's latched in marks the signal in some way. I was actually thinking the way to do that was with a arithmetic combinator and maybe left shift in like the uppermost bit. And so if the uppermost bit is set, then it can't latch in that that item to be crafted. Another thing you can do on top of that is instead of negating it, there's a few. This is one. This is a rabbit hole that I'm sort of avoiding going down. Is allowing the opportunity for multiple assembly machines to pick another task that needs a lot of work when there's nothing else to grab, and then dividing it up between them. So like when everything is taken, it then goes back through again and say, okay, what is the next biggest task to be done? And then pick from that and then split the work between them. Hello there, Darthy. The problem is that is, well, a lot of combinators. I have seen a few machines, like there's one of them where like you're like this and just the entire screen is just combinators. Like that's how many combinators we're talking about. So I did grab mine, that's good. I was freaking out there for a moment. It's like, did I actually grab combinators or was I too busy waffling? I don't know. It's quality time, yes. Right, we don't need that pin anymore. Pretzel's making me sign in, so I can't do that. So it's silence, you just have to put up with the sound of me. Yeah, this is the beginnings of the very long-winded mid-game period of the game. Alright, you get out of there. You get in there. Ah, there they go. I was worried there for a minute. There was this long pause. I was like, bots, can you do things, please? Don't like the idea of latching, as it more or less requires a clock, or else you double latch. Yeah, I'm a bit averse to latching as well. That's why, like, the current one is the way it is. I didn't grab poles. Like, I'm very averse to latches, because latches, I like the idea of a machine being stateless, where it doesn't, because the reason is that a latching machine of any kind needs fully defined states for each state for it to be in. Like you need to fully define out what makes it in the latch state and then what makes it in the cleared state. So it gets to be just a giant headache. '18 was nod time, so much bot mining and bot builds. It was weird, wasn't it? We've been through so many meta changes since yeah, 17 and 18 there was a lot of strange things. Yeah, they have a character limit. The YouTube API is incredibly restrictive. Admittedly, it isn't a terrible thing, but it's very strictly locked down. Like, they lock it right down. It's very, there's like a query rate of like something, I'm trying to think what it is, the query rate. It's really low. Now, trains are really dangerous in this. And the reason I say that is the second I connect this, a train is going to be like, oh boy, there's a new station for me to go to. The one thing I will admit that I am very much behind on is train unloading and unload meta. I'm very rusty with that at the minute. You know what, just do a bit of that. You do that, I'll do this. And then teamwork makes the dream work. That just makes sadness. Nope. Sure, why not craft a signal? Item load, very good. You need a radar. It's kind of pointless putting efficiency modules in that. Yeah, it means if you wanted to say something more detailed, you basically can't. Against my better judgment, I'm going to go straight into the 2-lane segments. That's actually hilarious that that lined up as well as it did. I mean, I've got the bots to do it, so I might as well. I'll start committing to it. Why did I put so many variations in? Me and my obsession with getting the angle going. Nope, don't do that. Yeah, if you see that, if you click and drag, it actually pulls the wire. I forgot about that, but that's a thing. The funny thing is, I probably won't be using the wire. And this is why I was sort of hesitant to use the bots. Are a little early for it yet. But it at least just helps a little bit with the chaotic mess that is this track. There's something alluring to the really dirty early game tracks when you don't have bots and you just need something working. Yeah, you can just use radar signals now, so the wiring, this wire isn't as useful anymore. It does still have some merits, but at the same time, I have some ideas on what to do for outpost wiring. Because potentially you could go back to clocked outposts. It's something that I've done before, admittedly not for a long time, and it would be entertaining to do again. Because then you could just have a set of everything signals. I'm not going to do that there, because then I have to change it later. Whereas if I put it there, then it's not as much of a problem. I do realize that I am leaving the car behind, but this is fine. I'll just extend this track down parallel, because this is where it's going to be eventually, assuming I don't run out of track. V5 railbook, yeah, the new railbook's up. Admittedly, you can't make use of it yet, but it exists. Yep, we got the elevated ones as well, nearly, except for that one, which is missing the thing still. I haven't gone around to fix that. And we've got our main lines with modular junctions, and a few things are still missing because I, again, haven't finished it yet. I mean, there's an argument to be made that I'm kind of being slack because I have had like a month and a half to work on it. Yeah, it means you will have fully debugged Rails from day. Hmm. Ah, okay. I see. The main thing is though, I took it as a personal challenge to get the half diagonals going. Because in this book, this is V459000's Rail book, um, and he doesn't have any. Go there. He doesn't have there it is, basic ground. He just has curves, straights, and T's for the basic stuff. And it was like, don't bother with the diagonals. And I was like, all right then, it's just a geometric problem. I can figure this out. And so it took like 3 weeks overall for me to figure it out, but I got it to work. The trouble is the original track that I wanted didn't work. What I wanted to do was a narrow gauge track like this with the signals in the middle. But this one uses an odd grid, and it is a pain. Like I went to the trouble of setting it all up as an odd numbered grid, but then I started running into weirdness with like the T intersections wasn't odd, and then the half diagonal pain began, and it was painful. And so I gave up on it, unfortunately. So the narrow gauge track has gone in the bin. Now, apparently, I need more of these to make more of these. To then make more of them, which needs gears and thingies. Where'd the chest go there? There is inevitably a few leftovers because it takes... It's 20 each, and it's not a multiple. Is it 20? Yeah, it's 20 each. I nearly said 40, but no, it's 40 for the pair. It means I have 40 left over from what I grabbed, is what I was thinking of, but I think it wasn't actually. It was actually more than that I grabbed. It's an quantity. Supply and trash system would be so much cleaner with Wi-Fi signals. It would, yes. Especially doubly with interrupts. So the train can go each train. Well, it does. It actually doesn't matter that much. There we go. The train partially on the curve is surprisingly annoying. There's a solution for it. All right, you grab you, paste you, go to fuel load. There, you're the one that I want. Whee! Wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly. Now you just need power. Naturally. That can easily be arranged. Grab you. This is all bonk. It's amazing that didn't destroy it. I'm a I hadn't entirely forgotten about it. I just wanted to get the car back after coming down here. It was all an elaborate ploy to get the car back. There we go. That should be running now. So you'll be producing stone for me. Let's rescue my bot. The new rail planner is actually kind of annoying because there's so many more orientations now. It's so easy to be off by a pixel and the thing just generate a loop-the-loop. Like, overall, you got to be a little bit slower with the rail planner compared to what you've been previously. So, like, if I grab it like that, and then I, you know, get, can I actually, yeah, like, if you just go, it's probably not the best situation for it, but yeah, because there's so many more positions, it's annoying. Trouble is, I'm trying to think of an example where it's an issue and it's more like in a complicated junction where you'll see it and encounter it more. Now, because, where is it? Space science is coming down now. I'm going to make a logistics group. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it science. And we're going to say that 2000. So this is going to request up to 2000. So this is just like a requester chest. So this is just requested from the platform as much science as it can deliver. So you can see it's just plopping down, 1, 3. As it's being crafted, it's just going to start raining down. Okay. The next step that I'm going to need to do is where things start to get rather chaotic. Because you've got to accommodate all these science packs. I mean, I can actually chuck those in there. Right, you use filters. This is why filters are amazing. To there. Do that like that for now. That's going to be for the next 2 science packs. I'm going to do that there to there, then around. I'm just making this up as I go along. So, what do you reckon? Something like that? No, there. There. There, say. Another way of doing it is popping a lab out and giving it more room, but if I do it, nice and neat, then it wouldn't be offensive on the eyes, and that's not something that we want, is it now? We want this to be as ugly and as dirty as possible, just so people can rage at it. Right, now I'll give you power, and now we have space science. So, what is, we need to think about you thrusters, because that unlocks planets, and then we can start discovering planets. And I kind of want to go to Vulcanus first. I think that's sort of the typical place that people go to. So I'll set that up. You are missing a module, I just noticed. Unfortunately, it's not researching lab stuff because we don't have any plastic, because we do have oil, because it's just coming through now. Just barely coming through right now. I think the answer is more refining. Not that it'll help that much. Because the oil supply is still bad. It just means we'll get more on the rare occasion when it actually comes through. Oh, another thing I need to do is plug this in. Assuming at some point when nearly full. I'm also keeping this a fairly dirty build with the assumption that it will be fixed later. I actually also didn't really talk about the style of base that I chose. This is a, the running along the bottom and then the extendable smelter like this is something that I mean, this is, I didn't plan out the bus very well because I apparently am this is the long-going issue where I apparently am not very good at planning out buses anyway. But this is the single-sided one, and it's just a little bit more flexible. It's a good design when you don't really know what you want to get out of it, I find. It opens up options, this kind of main bus style of smelter. Instead of going straight through, by putting it on one side and having the inputs and outputs on the same end, it makes it more flexible. This is actually this style of smelter we normally skip over, even back in the day with the Kernel Wheel Exterm games. We'd normally skip over this one because this is the mid-game smelter, and it's kind of pointless. You just take the starter smelter into mid-game and then go straight to the the beacon module build and just skip this step entirely. So this would be the rare occasion where you actually see me do this. I am kind of curious about how it works out as we start expanding across the solar system. So we'll see how we go. It actually doesn't matter. I've already tried this with a traditional smelter and it still works, but I wanted to see how this style works. If it isn't apparent, it's replacing the steel furnaces with foundries, if you hadn't worked it out. Yeah, I don't think we need you anymore. It's all quiet on the northwest, south, and eastern fronts. My god, that was annoying yesterday. The changes in biters since 17... What was it? I think it was the changes in 17. Just the level of aggro is just phenomenal. Yeah, no, we'll just burn through that a little bit quicker. Gotta be careful I don't touch biters on the far end of that, because then they'll start showing up again. Also, hello, Mark Santos. Or just Mark. It's a very irregular kind of social interaction. Hello, first name, last name. It just sounds so robotic. Fagora Gleber Volcanus? It's interesting. I have... Oh, you have Gleber second. Yeah, potentially. My attitude with Gleber is that on its own, it doesn't do much for you. It's really more of a stepping stone getting into late game. That's what it feels like. And so, Fulgora Volcanus, whichever you take first, it's a bit either or. Whichever, because they both have merits. It could go either way. Just need to feed the gambling addiction a little bit there. It'd be a lot better with a better thingy. What am I after? I need plastic, which is oil. Yeah, it's already gone again. So I need some more oil outpostage. Or possibly a combination of things. It is a combination of building more, another oil outpost, and also... Ah, jeez. Speed moduling, the one that I already had. Did I not cap that? That is a dangerous thing to do. Oh no, I limited it that way, that's right. Completely forgot. Herpaderp. Yeah, you want to use the robo limits. Very good, Veldek, gifting that sub to first name, last name. Actual infinite resources tempt you to strongly tempt you too strongly compared to False Infinity of Vulcanus. When we get to Vulcanus, or once you start to see how Vulcanus works, you might rethink the Infinity situation. Actually, the biggest bottleneck is getting calcite back to Navis, just quietly. It's not actually the Infinity and all that, it's, stupid bot. Yeah, it's, bringing things back and shuffling things around. You know, the smart money would have been on grabbing the car, but I'm already halfway there now. Make it a tanker too. So probably need another oil train. Although it might be a case of we'll see. Also, this thing carries 50,000 now, if you didn't see it in the one of the previous FFFs. And if you can't hear it, placing the speed modules has a sound now. Placing modules, pretty much placing everything has a sound now associated with it. Alright, what's that done for the oil situation? So we're at 3.2 and we're at 4.5, 4.4. So it has improved things a little bit. Why can't you go... Of course not. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there isn't really... Technically there is an infinity, but at the same time... yeah. I mean, technically yes, it's true, but once you get into it, it is sort of actually infinite. For all intents and purposes. Like once you get the big mining drills and enough mining productivity, it gets stupid. It like actually gets stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not against the idea of JD being wrong. Every now and then, when you look at the new rails, sometimes you can see a bit of a jaggeriness as you transition through some of the curves. And when you see it, like it's really hard to spot, but when you do see it, you can't unsee it. Like a very rounded square look to it. Hello, train. Alright, that should get that going again. Oh no, it's just a dead power pole. Apparently we're left 12 iron and I saw some copper as well somewhere, or was it stone? Oh, there's more iron over there. Yeah, 16 iron, 12 iron. Ah, there it is, 47 copper. Someone's going to make me mine all that up, aren't they? So what's complaining? Those are the dirty early game tracks. That's what those are. Those are called dirty early game tracks. New junctions of disappoint. Oh yes. Oh yeah. You should see how the old rails look. They get real wonky because the game doesn't quite know what to do with them. Oh yeah, I did. The gambling did pay off. I got one uncommon solar panel. So we got 30, 39. It like just that little bit of extra is extremely useful. Cannot find path. Of course I can't find path. It's Occupado. going into the yard. You need a PLD. Let's let this finish crafting. Then I'll switch it back to PLD. That's for this tonk here. Yep. I mean, realistically, it could probably be a roboport or something. Yeah, a few more batteries. And give it a few of them. And I'll ghost another one down. Actually, better yet, I'll put that there. Because I can. Righty, now I need to, what is it, 833 versus 843. I mean, that one's pretty close to biters, but it's not worse biters. But that one's just in desert, which is annoying. Oh yeah, pipe. We need pipe. Get our oil industry underway. I mean, I could also just ignore the problem and go off-world. That also works too. But there's a little bit of prep work to be done first, and as I say, like the prep work is basically you need some kind of, so if I go into map view, you can actually open up this and then drive remotely. So this is like because it has well, it doesn't have robots in it, but because it has a personal roboport in it, it can be used to remotely manage a world. I can actually do this as well. Ghost in some bots. It's not going to do anything, but if it was capable of, the robots would actually place it in there. I just love that feature. Where is it there? It's a very useful feature. Just arbitrarily place things in, and then construction bots will come along and sort it out. This tank here. Yeah, this one's already set up. Aha, the bricks starting to come through now again. That means I'm gonna chuck that out. And anything that needs just military, we'll polish off these for now, I think. Do need rockets. Rockets are very valuable. Yes. Yeah, tank being Spidertron point one is amazing. If you haven't realized the potential, it means, I mean, I've been sort of alluding to it very strongly without actually saying it, but it means that you can have an off-world, a fairly capable off-world suppression device. So you can use it to manage the biters and the pentapods. You can use it to build things. You can use it. You can't explore with it. You can't go into the unexplored areas. That's the only thing you can't do with it, though. But like, if you need to deal with something remotely, it's there, and it can be done. In theory, it should shuffle over there when it's full. If I bother to grab some copper... There we go. Oh no, it's going to unload apparently. Or it can't get to 242 from there, of course not. Yeah, if you had the radars available to, you could use the... and power poles, of course. You need to extend the power network as well. But you could, yes, use the radars to and power poles to leapfrog forward to explore. Oh, I don't have a roboport anymore. I gave it to the tank. Yep, just stand on the rails. That's exactly where you want to be. Also, lining up the rails with all the new angles is surprisingly annoying. Hello, train. Oh, that is at its full extent. So that's where it gets really annoying, the planner. And yeah, the geometry of the fractionals. So this is getting into what I was alluding to with the annoyance of the planner. Hello, train. Alright, I guess we're over here now. Probably the main thing that I need to get used to is the radius of the curve is actually wider. It's like 2 tiles wider than it used to be. That's just going to go back and forth now, isn't it? There we go. Trouble is, I can't assign it to the main system. Because it's not set up for oil yet. Mm, I don't know why. What I possibly could do. Just make a dedicated interrupt specifically for has cargo. Oh, I just click that. Just the researchers kicking through. Not cargo. Fluid count. The game distinguishes the two. I can make a generic, but I'm not going to just yet. Just because it's sort of its own unique thing. Main thing is you don't combine trains into the different lengths. That's why I've distinguished the 111 from the 242. You do not want to mix them. Why can't you get there? Okay, that doesn't actually join. Ah, yes. There you go. It's off by 1. Real subtle, that is. I've been caught out a few times with that. It's really difficult to spot at sometimes. Whoops. I also got that the wrong way around. Yeah. Let's see, stronger explosive. That's actually that. Refined flammables doesn't hurt. I never actually built the follow robot count. Never actually built the flamethrower ammo production. There it is. All right. And there goes the other one. Wish I could have jumped on if I was quick enough. Oh, I might do. There's nothing stopping me from running a pipe all the way along. Well, actually, there is several things stopping me from running the pipe along. And that is pipe extent limits and pipe extent limits. That's actually a really interesting surprise because when we started the LAN and we started doing oil, we'll put down this thing and it was like, wait, what's this? Because the question had always been on the mind, what stops us from having transcontinental pipe networks? And then we all immediately saw the pipe extent and was like, wait a minute, what is this? Is this what we think it is? And yep, turned out to be true. It's interesting, the new, you haven't seen, oh, it's not really obvious because it's under there, but the oil patch has a new graphic now. It's this sort of like bubbling goo that's penetrating the ground instead of just being the stain, the sort of fairly non-specific stain on the ground that it was before. That was another surprise too, to see that change. Alright, of course I have this thing where I gotta be very pedantic about how it's laid out. And as a result, it takes far longer than it reasonably should to actually connect up an oil outpost. And none of this really matters because of the pipe changes. Like, it all doesn't really make much of a difference, other than to just be convenient to walk around in. But can you live with yourself if you make it, just giant pipe spam everywhere and not try and make it at least somewhat tidy, I say, as I'm just pasting down power poles haphazardly. Who's that? Spellmaster. Making honks come. Oh, damn it! How we doing? It does actually matter if you want to beacon it later, yes. This is true. There we go, that should be safe enough-ish. We've got this patch? Yeah, because I only have one patch and I really need more than one patch. Now at some point this thing's going to start flashing red. Oh, it's 320 now. It used to be 250. There it is. Now it's unhappy. User. Oh, that's complaining about that. The thing being fully extended. Oh, I guess you're here now. Oil Infinite. It's still in. Oil itself hasn't changed. It's still the same. Functionally, it's still the same as always. So nothing's really changed there. It's just the graphic for the oil patch has changed, and you have the pipe extent now. Oh, I was coming back because I was like, oh, I need engines, and I didn't realize I had engines on me. Idiot. That's an idiot. Yeah, so pump split the pipe extents. So if I break that, put that there, put you there. Yep, so this is now 273 and this is now 63. Doesn't hurt to then put another pump there, so it splits it even further. It's chunk based as well, so the way it maxes out is actually kind of odd. Why? Why? Hmm. Oh. Um. It's getting a bit of a disco light going on there. Yeah, interrupts can lead to some rather peculiar behavior. Chat's freezing as you're typing. It's probably a Java thing. In saying that, Java is actually pretty fast. For as much as the memes make, it's actually pretty performant. Right, you can now... yeah, it's I say chunk aligned, it's bounding box aligned, so... if you extend within the bounding box, so there, 273, see it's still 273, it hasn't actually increased. Because it's within the confines of the area that it's drawn. I need to speed up that now. That's a good problem to have. Hello, train. Well, send your text before you send to the back end. The mysteries of Java or YouTube's design. Well, I guess there's none in the network then. Yeah, so pumps are limited to 1200 fluid a second now instead of 12,000. The zero's been removed. So they're nowhere near as crazy as they used to be. I'm not against this change. This is live? I thought this was a video. Yes. It's meant to be dual streaming, but I'm still working on setting that up. How are doing, Will? Do you like my pollution cloud? It's amazing. Oh yeah, have you seen... I assume you've been having fun with the game right now. Let's give this a very... the latest version, that is where you can't actually click that button. That's a hilarious thing to have. But it doesn't actually matter because you can still get around it. But it is fixed for the next version. Damsel was running into that problem earlier. This is one of those little... because this is not public, this version's not technically public, little things do pop up like that. That otherwise wouldn't normally be acceptable in a public version. So if you have seen that, don't freak out. It's not... oh, it came out after you started. Yeah, what I mean is that don't get too hung up on it, like it reflecting badly on the upcoming release. It's more that because This version is even more bleeding edge than experimental that you get on Steam, say, whatever the Steam version. This is live straight from what the developers are actually building internally. This version, so it's even more fly by the seat of your pants than what you would normally expect. Why am I not seeing stuff? Because there's a belt turned. There's a bloody belt turned again. Yeah. As a result, though, updates that fix it or work around if it's game breaking, and they will stay up and fix it for you. If there's a workaround for it, they will tell you what it is. They'll give advice. I probably want some of that. We queue this up again, and then start unlocking planets. I need a logistic system as well. That is actually interesting that that it took that you're a little slow on the uptake there. Yeah, yeah. This is effectively the nightly build. I'm genuinely amazed. Yeah, because this doesn't come out until the 21st. Yeah, it's seeing this version is a bit unusual because these would not normally be public. I do actually want those. Get rid of you. Actually, what I can do with them is that. Just paint down some stone wall, some stone floor. All right, so you're up and running again. This is good. Some sad red circuit. Gotta love my base. It's nice and messy, nice and thoroughly planned out. I actually the reason, if you're wondering why it's so messy, is that for the longest time back in, this is a bit of a story time. For the longest time, I did always have like a starter base and a book planned out. This was back in version 16, and and I always had that, and I'd build it. The problem is that it started to get really repetitive and annoying, and so from that point on, I then just that one inserter that was missing. I spotted it and I couldn't unsee it. But yeah, back to the story at hand. Yeah, I got super burnt. I got very burnt out from building just the same starter base in a book over and over and over again. And I was already a bit like I couldn't quite work out what the burnout was from, and then I realized it when I forget who it was mentioned it, the whole going through the motions of just placing down a blueprint. I mean, a lot of people say that now, but it was less of a thing back then. Everyone was all the ratio of people that say, "Oh, I need a blueprint to do all this," to people saying, "No, you should really just organically play the game," was a lot lower back in version 16, into version 17. But yeah, if it fits, it sits. And yeah, so I'd realized that it was because I was just painting in the blueprint every time. I wasn't really just just roughly headaching out what I want and then organically placing it down as I do. You might see some common builds they always do. Like I always do the same red circuit build. I always do the same green circuit build. Pretty much the same processing unit build. There's always something like that for engines. It's like these are standard builds that I know work, and I always do them. But yeah, I don't have a pre-planned like main bus or anything like that. Main buses are a bit of a misnomer because once you get like without productivity, one belt of green circuits, there's one belt of iron. And so I saw the main bus, but I'm fully cognizant of that. Things get a bit weird once you start getting your interplanetary upgrades going, though. And so, like, doing it this way doesn't actually matter so much in the long term. Bubblegum. To get to the game completion screen, do you have to go to every planet, or can you skip a planet and go to the end? Do you want the spoiler or the no spoiler answer to that? Because the spoiler answer to that, fair warning, plug your ears now. The spoiler answer is yes, you can bypass everything to get to the end screen. Currently. As far as I'm aware, I'm not sure if it's been patched out yet. I'm pretty sure it has, though. Oh, oh no, that's a copper train. Apparently you're permanently there though now. I have a fear. Yeah, you can't actually get there. Yeah, so spoiler is over. Even though you've plugged your ears and you can't hear it, the spoiler is over now, so you're safe. These are some fine rails, they are. Oh, okay, so has it been fixed? I wasn't sure. I mean, I thought it had been fixed, but the trouble is I keep hearing differing opinions on the matter. Because apparently Anti has said, he's alluded to it still being a thing, unless he's found a new way to do it. How does this make you feel? Does this just give you just a little bit of anxiety as I'm laying these down? I think that works. Have allowed that junction to exist for so long? I mean, have you seen the junction of disappoint? Have you seen the junction of disappoint? There's something very wonky here, and I don't know what it is, because the back ones are always unloading excessively. Mm. It is far from the most junction of disappoint. Oh, going back to the question from before, when you don't have insert a capacity bonus, the it's actually not so important for the copper wire machines, or copper plate into copper wire, but the copper wire into the circuit assembler needs to, because of the lack of inserter capacity. I did two here, but it's not actually necessary. It's more so for the copper wire. I just sort of was painting it down in a hurry, and I mean, I have the inserted capacity now, so I don't know why I'm actually doing that. Right, I'm sort of procrastinating at the minute right now. Okay, so things are turning on again now that we've got stuff again. I need more bird. I'm gonna reshuffle things. If there's spoilers, look away now. I'm going to open the achievements. I am trying to somewhat tick off achievements as I go. That's why I'm playing it a bit of a funny way. I mean, some of them are a bit tricky. Some of them are obvious, like visiting the planets for the first time. Modules stinks and they do like it. Yeah. The spores on Glebber attract. It's the same core mechanic, but it attracts. It's effectively attracting them because it's tasty snacks that you're luring them with. Say that, but there are a few there that I missed. Apparently, yes. Sleepy. How long did you go for yesterday? Like 15 hours? I was about to do something and forgotten what it is again. Oh yeah. I want to drop this in at some point soon. I tried to leave enough room for it, and apparently I didn't leave enough room for it. It's a bit annoying. Alrighty. Oh, okay, only 12. Only 12 hours. Oh, that iron's looking a little sad. Blueprints moved over with no issue. Most of them, yeah. I mean, some of them fare better than others. Some of them fare better than others. But yeah, most of them work fine. As long as there's no track in it, it generally works. Oh yeah, that. Miss Meanie can't stop us. No, she can't. Alright, I'm really just sort of spinning my wheels a bit here. Alright, so we need not a, oh, we do need a cargo landing pod. What do I need? Concrete. That's actually a good point. I should make a whole bunch of these. Pop them in requester chests for over here. Because the one thing we want above all else is the bots going flying across the full extent of the base. Landing pad, landing pad. Cargo bay doesn't hurt. Just handcraft all these things. Filtering. Oh yeah, they'd be a bit weird. They would definitely be a bit of a weird one. So what was the extent of it? Yeah. Alright, so to go off-world, you need a cargo landing. You need to take a cargo landing pad with you. You don't strictly need one when you like when you start and there's no cargo landing pad. You have to manually fire things, and it lands at the very center, like the origin coordinates of the map. So as a result, you really want to take one of those with you. I should see about picking up that and moving it out of the way. For those who are wondering, Miss Meanie is the one who makes us leave, who made us leave at the LAN every night. She was mean. Export. Oh yeah, yeah. Export from string as well. That's a very good idea. Most of the blueprints here I actually exported and re-imported into the Steam. This is the Steam version now. Um, a lot of these I exported and re-imported. The ones down here I didn't do that to, and that's why they're all kinds of insane. I can't actually see the heist at the minute. I didn't give myself enough room, apparently. Well, balls. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was kind of the the centre's fault because they were also meanies and wouldn't let us play past 10 o'clock. But they also wouldn't open the place early too. Very mean of them. Oh yeah, you can have a lot of groups. I love that you can attach so much stuff to this. Ah, hello bots. I mean, they should be. The problem is I'm not making substations. What I should do is this one. This one should fit. Do I want to blow everything out the way? Yes, I do. Actually, a better idea is plop it here. If I did another land, would I go again? Very likely. As expensive as it, and as long as it takes. Hey, Spellmaster with the 24. It actually wasn't that expensive.
Space, I mean spies.
Thank you very much for the they're making me change tab. Thank you very much for the 24 months. Space, you're in space. That's what it is, not in Finnish. Thank you very much for that. And Veldak honking away at things. What I presume to be Veldak honking at things. Yep, it was Veldak honking at things. Nah, it's the 24 hours of travel was a bit rough, but I'd do it again. It was a lot of fun. I did thoroughly enjoy myself. Decon, yes. So I just used Super Force build right then, and what that is well, that's regular build. So to Super Force build, it's hold down Shift and then Control, and then where's the cursor? Oh, it's not showing the cursor. How about if I pick this? See how it's got the ghost cursor? Hold down Shift, or hold down Shift, still there. And now if I go Control Shift, you see it goes red, slightly angry. This is Super Force build mode. And that will just plow everything else out, everything that's in the way out of the way. So if I say there, go angry ghost mode, and then there, that will then mark that for decon to place a thing in its way. Funny thing is, I actually demolished the belt production by putting that down. Make everything machine. Leave earlier to have catch-up time. It was great to meet. Yeah, I suffered so much from the tiredness. That was the biggest downside. I think you just meet up like 2 days beforehand. I think that's the way to go next time, if there is a next time. I mean, they did sort of allude to. I think it was Clone and alluded to, or Kavorax alluded to doing another one sometime in the future. My belt is backwards. Yeah, make anything. Yeah, what I could do is pick up blue and red and green sign, not blue, red and green signs and move them over. Yeah, I was sort of limited though by what should I even do that? I feel like I'm walking into a very big mistake. But you know what? Let's just let's just walk into a potentially very big disaster. Yeah, I was somewhat limited by the availability of flights. Like that particular combination, it wasn't the best, but it was a lot cheaper than even coming. Like staying a day later added like 600, 600 to the cost. It was a lot. Alrighty, so this is the entirely non-fancy version of this thing. And I'll let the bots fix it later. This is so terrible. Didn't fancy going via China. China was actually even slower. What I did was actually really quick. It was the fastest option. Because the China way actually stops over. It has two stopovers. There's another one which stops over in Finland as well, which is a bit of a weird one. Hmm. Emirates, it was. It's really good though. Did like flying Emirates. I don't know how they compare to others because I don't have anything to compare it with, but I think they seemed like it was um, better than most experiences I've heard of. Okay, so the way this is the new and improved. Well, this is the non-auto magic one. So I can assign recipes just by setting this constant combinator. So if I want poles, that's poles. You can actually do it without building it, so that can be big poles. Combinatories. Mr. Wooden Pole. Oh yeah, there. Oh yeah, better than Exterms. He had it rough, all things considered. That layover was pretty optimistic, though. Okay. I feel like I'm just procrastinating a little bit here. Having done all that, I just realized I don't actually want that. I do actually want... The thing that I did originally is what I do want. I'm a bit of an idiot. There, build that for me, please, bots. Please and thank you. Aha! The thingy's done. Oh, you gotta build all that crap for me. That's just mean, that is. Ah, sit over. Um, months ago, the recipes via Combinator. There's just so much. That's the problem, though. That's the thing, though, is there's just been so much stuff added to Space Age that it's just crazy. It is genuinely hard to keep up with everything. I need to unlock that. Yeah, and just getting this thing done because it makes my life easier. This helps also manage the world. Like it just helps get things done on this planet while I'm not here, or any planet when not around. Like getting off world is all about good prep work. Blueprint request, oh, amazing. I mean, to be fair, that's just a 2.0 thing. It's not even a DLC feature. Bothers me greatly that they always build the exact. It's like the bots know exactly what you don't want built, and then they go build it. It's like they know somehow. Nope, now I'm out of circuit. Just there's so many things where it's just straight away like that. It's like, how did you ever live without it? Steel. It's gonna be a little difficult to make that. Where are you at there? A lot of it is deciders now. Ah, that's a start button. Okay, you're doing what you should. Though. Oh, okay. Yeah, this thing, it is a work in progress. There we go. That's something that's achievable. Rain stops, you must go for a walk, have breakfast. Ah, and then it's time for your work shift. What did I come down here for? These things. Let's handcraft a whole bunch. Mamoru's back. The Zelda devs are great. They were like, we have so many neat ideas, we don't want to make a DLC, so instead we just make it a new game. I feel like that could be taken in a very cynical direction. Dang it. There. Just click on the right one eventually. Purple boxes. And because they're all the ideas they had for this game cost the same as the new game, so either the DLC at the price of a game or just a new game. Oh, okay. So it's not that bad. See how this thing works. See all the thing triggering away as it goes. Yeah, every time it crafts so this is like a timeout counter, and every time it crafts it, clears it and resets it. You've latched in something you can't do. I'm going to have to be a little bit more um, picky about what goes in here. Also, did I make the starter pack? No, I didn't. Well, I'll leave that do its thing for now that it's got some bots. I'll give it some more bots. Starter pack. I mean, realistically, we're going to want a whole bunch of starter packs. I'm actually going to want a whole bunch of these as well. Like that. which is why I built it the way that I did. I have no idea why that's... Oh, that's way off. It's the first version. It's V1. It's fine. Well, I guess you're having that then. Yeah, right, it does not. Now it does. Unfortunately, there aren't a convenient supply of them on tap. Well, I'll just let that fire off and do its thing. What do I need? Engines, concrete, steel. One, two, about that much. I need to get rid of some stuff. Little something like that. Should be okay. He says as... Still don't have enough room, probably. I got... Yeah, I do. No, RCUs don't exist anymore. They are sadly no longer a thing. They are no longer with us. Although not really that sadly. I believe I deconstructed the thingy chest. It'll probably figure itself out eventually. Only for Space Age, yes. If you were to use base game, it would go back to as it was. Base game is still base game. 998. Ah, pipe. Of all things, it's pipe that's missing. Right, you request. Yeah, it's going to complain about being out of bot range for now. That's fine. It shall be fixed eventually. Main thing is you just need to get the silos charged up. But yeah, once you get into rocket logistics, you need to start thinking about building multiple silos. It's no longer enough to just have one silo. Really got to think about multiples. Alright, platform 1. So this will eventually be a platform for spacefaring. Now, as much fun as it would be to spend the next 4 hours of playtime making a platform, I'm just going to... where is it? That one. This one that I stole from the LAN. We'll do that instead. Let's just say that it works and we went to the trouble. This is now going to request all the things that it needs to make it do its thing. Including but not limited to all that junk. And that's going to send the first lot of rockets on their way. Then I'm going to scoop up a whole bunch of steel because I'm going to need to make some roboports to start the whole process. Yeah, I really don't want to spend ages and ages on something that's realistically not really worth that much time. I don't want to do a whole tutorial, I don't want to make this a whole tutorial on how to do it. It's a thing. Main thing is, like, you saw what's here. You're basically doing the same thing as here again. You know, you're setting up your space grabbers. You're setting up your belt for feeding it, the belt for processing it. The only difference is the stuff that goes on the grabby arm, the processing, it gets sent into a chemical plant, or several chemical plants actually, that process the different materials into fuel and oxidizer for producing the thrust, basically. No, you don't need robots in space, and you can't deploy robots in space. We can go over it in detail another time. Ha. Yeah, see now the platform is requesting the stuff, so we're requesting 100 belt. This is more what I wanted to show. Like, all this stuff is happening automatically. You don't need to do anything. It just happens. So as soon as this is there, I'll tick that. It's going to request more belt. And so that's going to happen. I'll do that too. If I go to platform 1, you can see it's now... Oh, it's still expanding the base platform. It hasn't actually got there yet. There we go. See, and it just starts building itself. Some beacons that help it along, but the base sort of doesn't really have the production for that. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that do its thing. I'm going to go poke this with a stick for now, just to make sure it's behaving. I'm also going to start setting up some personal resource requests, like so. And what I can do is actually divide it up into sections, so I can then have, you know, like an early game request as well. Hmm. I was suspicious of such. Ah, there it is. I was like, why did that flicker? There's only one thing that makes the lights flicker like that, and that is activating... Oh, that's actually terrible. That's because I don't have accumulators. Oh, that's what I was going to do. We need to start the nuclear... or the uranium industry. Selected something invalid again, presumably. It's just low on power. That'll help kick it into gear. Oh, that'll actually get us some stack inserters. Yeah, it's power is kind of upsetting it. I wonder if that might be a thing worth pursuing, is setting up a fail state for lack of... Oh, that popped up again. Did it pop up again, or has it always been there? Not actually sure. Tell you what, I'm just going to choose to ignore it again. One day I'll fix it. You. There. I mean, I could request it, but the bots are, they're kind of busy right now. Oh, when I press the window key. I have a feeling it was actually always there. Yeah, it was always there. Yeah, the live fast and free with the non-blocking autosave. With the power of by the power of forking. I hesitated there for a moment because I was like, should I bother linking the acid tubes? And I was like, nah. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Pretend that didn't happen. And the two end ones all pair off like this. I mean, with recall coming, would you want to activate Windows? I should really get my Roboport back. I'm not carrying it? No, I'm not. Isn't there like another version of Windows coming as well? Sort of something mumbled about it. Or is it the usual alleged leaks of things that probably aren't happening? all in an effort to avoid going around the rocks. Good enough. Alright, let's go get a roboport. This feels like it's been a bit unproductive. This is the thing with the mid game. It sort of becomes the list of 1,000 things you need to do. It's just a lot of little odd jobs. Stonks must stonk. Ah, things are still launching. How's the thing looking now? It's growing. What I might actually do is, like, instead of doing one that I stole, tell you what I'll do. I'll be generous. Where is it? I'll do the one that I at least built. So that's why it's much more space inefficient. You can see where I got the design cues from, though. Yeah, this thing is much more space inefficient. See, there's a lot more empty space. And you can... That's the reason why building platforms is so... It takes a long time, and I can see a lot of people just blueprinting these, because really getting the most out of the space is actually difficult and annoying. Oh, on that note, because there's 10 minutes left, the thing that I was going to do yesterday, tell you what, I'll go through it today while I drink water. Because that's, yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and we can just kind of let them cook for now. So yeah, let's see. There it is. Now, would you like to see what happens when you get a new toy and you then make as much use of it as possible? Because that's what happened here. There. Look at it. Look at it and bask in its glory. There's there. RGB. The things you can do with RGB. Yeah, so this is our save from the land. You can tell it is because there's a ducky. So yeah, this is spoiler heavy. How about that? Yeah, lots of silos for lots of logistics. Look at the silo. The rockets go for logistics. You need a lot of space logistics. Yeah, there's our the first rocket with the space train. Yeah, what else is there to look at? Just trains plugged into the base, and trains and trains and more trains, and holy crap, more trains. Look at that starter base. That is beautiful, isn't it? This is a work of art. Oh yeah, this thing appeared in here too. Nice junction. Yeah. Like even I think that's the original science there too. Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it? Looks amazing. and a 300 by 300 tile koala, yes. Mm. Interesting thing about the rail bridges is, or the elevator rails, is you can do quite oddball junctions like that, like where it comes in and then it just peels away over the top. Yeah, we had V 453000 on our team, and so naturally We, as a result, are very train heavy. The junction decided. Oh yeah, and then the multicolored trains and everything. But yeah, so like these are all his blueprints. Oh yeah, there's a disco thing. Um, that's why I was talking about it before, referring to before with the disco thing, because the interrupts can do some rather wacky things with the train orders. But yeah, this is his entire train. So is this got Oh, it's only got rocket fuel. Oops. Yeah. Oh, there's my legendary rails. I was told that it isn't possible to do this. And so this is a combination of the old 1.1 rails and the new rails. But see, I was told you can't blueprint old rails, but you can quite clearly, you can actually still blueprint old rails, and the bots will deliver it. And so I called it legendary quality rails. Yeah, there's at least 3 developers told me that it wasn't possible to do that, and so I did it. And I even reported it. Um, all good. All good in the neighborhood. This is V's wall supply thing. So it goes out and supplies here, which repairs and rearms the walls. Is this the map? Was in the FFF? No, this was our land map. But yeah, as far as planets go, so this is spoiler heavy, by the way, if you didn't gather it already. Like, in general, most of the planets end up being something like this, where it's really focused on doing one thing. Like, realistically, Vulcanus, all it's really doing is producing belts, because you can only make the turbo belts on Vulcanus. That's actually a requirement. Here, turbo belts. They have to be made in the foundry, and they have to be made on the surface of Vulcanus. So realistically, Vulcanus, all it does is make, oh, they have to make the big mining drills and the foundries as well. But that's why Vulcanus exists. It exists to make those products and mango science, wherever it is, somewhere. Um, it's a similar story all the way around. Like, all of them are pretty minimal. Like, this is just processing things, turning it into this science. Um, Gleba, same thing again. Although we moved the science the labs onto Gleba, and yeah, so all of the science appears here. What that mean by putting the labs here, it means that these packs are used straight away, pretty much straight away. Yeah, and it can just spiral around and then dump the mold when it turns to mold. Quillo, um, we colonized it with a duck. That's it. This is actually old Aquilo, so it's not really valid anymore. So it's not really a spoiler. Oh yeah, because there's a binder base right there. I don't know what else to say about it, other than, yeah, like the infinity loop. I mean, we were sort of trying to push into space age, but at the same time, we were really just feeling out the how the game behaves and really getting to know the mechanics. So we didn't real so like the priority wasn't trying for our, at least for me, the priority wasn't to get to the end. It was really just to feel out the mechanics and give feedback and just generally have fun. So yeah, that's our multiplayer save. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth showing. Random number generator. Um, my fluid deleting thing. So you can set the recipes for oil refineries as well, you know, or in this case, specifically chemical plants. You can actually set it up with using logic. As much oh, it is so much more than vanilla. Um, is this? I think. I wonder why this has stopped working. It's meant to be doing all kinds of sad things. This turned out to be a really amazing fluid deleter. That's why I don't recommend doing it. So this thing's actually set up to filter. It shoves all of the liquids into a single pipe as it comes out. Like, oh yeah. Apparently it's turned that into petroleum gas. It's entirely possible it's... No, it's got oil, it's got water. It's got heavy oil. It's got heavy oil. Everything's just a mess. But yeah, you can actually use the circuit network to set up auto cracking, which I think it's trying to do right now. There it goes. Yeah, it's trying to turn light oil into light oil into petroleum gas. I think this is far. There it goes. Yeah, see, it's switched to heavy oil now. For extra bases on each planet and sending the product via rockets, or by platforms, but effectively yes. But to get to that point, like this is, oh, what is that? That's 24 plus 15 hours of playtime. I mean, this is a week's worth of playtime on this map. Over, what was it, like 6, 7 people? With breaks in between. It's really like satellite bases. Like, they're not full bases. The example that I gave was that they're more like... if I load up this one, this might be slightly better. Yeah, things change regularly. Like, this is my save that I've been playing on. And, like, it's... Like, I've got a whole train network developed here. Vulcanus, same thing again. You know, train network to get tungsten and coal so far. Not so much with calcite. Like, I'm still on starter calcite for Vulcanus. Oh yeah, did I introduce you to Kevin already? This is Kevin. Kevin the Demolisher. He's got this little, just lives in this little territory here. Just drives around in circles. I want to activate when, yeah, I need to sort that out eventually. It's been an ongoing issue with the CD keys, with the license keys. You can get Kevin excited if you pop a lump of wall in there. Mm. Oh, there he goes. Nee, nee. I think that's actually changed a little bit too. The disturbed ground from the demolisher. Yeah, when they're in the angry state, they demolish everything in the way, in their path. Yeah, and then they go back to normal. As soon as the thing in their is that how fast the trains go now? Yes. Um, the as soon as you demolish whatever's in their territory, they immediately go back to normal. But yeah, I mean, well, Gleber, the reason why I don't, it's not worth playing this one is because the Gleber's changed, and so this is all rip. But yeah, they're not full scale bases. Oh, there's actually several reasons why this one's done so forever. But it's not like a full base like this is, but it's still substantial because you need to spread out to collect resources to then ship them off world. So it's not like little. They're not really outposts. They're much bigger than that. I suppose Aquilo is probably the closest to a an outpost. It's yeah, like it's Aquilo is probably the smallest of the lot. So Kevin only cares about whatever's in this stripy area here. If it's outside the stripy area, he don't care. He's content in life. In life. Um, if I then go over to you, yeah, you'll do. Steve over here and Damo. These two are a little bit more aggro. Yeah, the medium ones are huge. Oh, here's a an assembly machine for scale. Like, look how big this thing is. As it turns out, it doesn't real. The reason why I put the walls in there is it turns out it'll never bump into them. Look at, it's just huge. This is only a medium one as well. So Vulcanus doesn't actually have pollution. There is no pollution to speak of. It's not a thing. So you actually see over here the evolution factor. Well, the evolution factor doesn't actually count. But yeah, no pollution. Gleber, it's spores instead of pollution. That's what the yellow is. Same with Fagola. Fagola doesn't have pollution either. Same with Aquilo. Yeah, that I think will do for now because we're actually over time. Yeah, that's a bit of an overview of what we're up to in the land. Did I? I do actually have some of the other thingies from the space from the land. You didn't really keep up with the update? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot has changed since like the first time they announced it as well. But yeah, that's sort of where it's at. I need to continue this on tomorrow because I need to get out of here. So, thank you all very much for watching, hanging out, all that good stuff. Really appreciate you here. If you like what you see me like, hit that like button. I'm all about the narcissism that comes with seeing the like counter go up. And I shall see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.